What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Beard Bytes podcast. This is episode 24, where hangout and gaming is in the core of this episode.
Okay, that's not bad. Today we'll be
I have to
talking
get a
about.
little Dr. Seuss.
There's actually a new Dr. Seuss movie coming out, so I don't know if you know that, but relevant.
Yeah.
We're gonna be talking about some Subnautica 2 stuff, the drama that's going on there, the updates on Stop Killing Games movement over in Europe, some insights into Gamepass, some numbers, some just different thoughts came out about it over the course of the week, and then of course the weekly segment of Xbox just doing what they do best and just messing themselves up and shooting themselves in the foot. So it'll be fun. And okay.
I don't know why my brain was like, let me just take a pause for the intro music. We're not playing the intro music. I feel
We can pretend.
I was like, do, 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 do. Anyways, man. Sorry, I felt like the dog on 4th of July where he has the headphones in and he's just chilling.
The
dog
doing?
Yeah, he's probably listening to Beard Bites.
Oh, I hope.
Yeah.
He's like, these guys
Yeah.
suck. What the hell? But how was your week? What'd you do? Any play anything? Watch anything?
I am gonna watch Superman later today.
Ooh.
So
okay.
Yeah.
I did watch
I know
Superman.
you watched.
Yeah.
We might maybe chat about it later and then just have a little segment there. But
Yes.
aside from that, dude, I've been playing way too much Death Stranding.
Really? How many hours you at?
I'm at 25 hours.
Woof,
And it
okay.
honestly did not feel like 25 hours. I'm in chapter 3.
Okay.
And there's just something about wanting to get a 5-star with every person that you deliver to.
Yep.
That makes it, I don't know, it's so stupid. I like the first game, but my approach with the first game was like, oh, I want to see what the game has to offer, right? I'm like, I want to see all the crazy kooky stuff Kojima's talking about.
Right.
And I want to see that here in this game, but for some reason I'm finding myself, oh, let me just build more bridges. Oh, let me go repair things. Let me put more watchtowers and battery generators, things all over the world. And for context, you're supposed to be doing deliveries to these major cities, but then you have little settlements that are scattered in between the major hub cities, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so each person that you meet in these settlements is a unique person that has not a backstory, but they have a quirk. One guy is a musician, and the more things you do for him, the more music you unlock. Another person is an artist.
Interesting.
The more things you do for her, she gives you more color to customize Sam. And then
wow.
there's
that's very different than not very different, but that's new, which I really like.
So it kind of leans into one guy's a lone sniper. So if you give him stuff, he gives you updated a trank sniper. So it's I'm okay, I want to get the best of everything. One guy gives you upgrades to increase your capacity of carrying and capacity for carrying ammo. So it's okay, I was let me get these upgrades. So I kind of
I do have a question for you about the game.
Yeah.
How much Kojima nonsense have you seen so far? Is there a lot of it? Is there a little bit of it? Is it same amount?
I think if you played the first game, okay, there are 2 characters. They're in the trailers. So do you want me to tell you about them, or should I not?
No, don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Okay, yeah. So they're in the promotional trailers, but there's 2 characters that you see maybe in the start of chapter 2 or episode 2 or whatever.
Okay.
That I brought my wife. I was like, stop, look at this, look at these 2 guys, and she's like, what the hell is this? I can't explain it without because it's not really a surprise, but it's definitely a what the hell kind of moment.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so far there is in the 25 hours, just in the chapter 25 or chapter 2 or chapter 3, it's I've seen some Kojima in this, but I went from normal to brutal, and the game is significantly better, honestly.
Really? You're saying the harder difficulty is better?
Yeah. So I mean, granted, because I played the first one, so I know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
This one, there are these enemy camps, right? They're called mules. So in the game, you have people that deliver packages. Those are porters, and then you have people that steal the packages and steal resources. And like they're hostile, right?
Yeah.
So like as you're traveling, you wanna like either take these guys out or like steer clear of them. So when you go from normal to brutal, you they add like machine gun turrets, and like they add like twice the number of enemies, and they wear like these face masks so that they don't get headshotted easily. And it's like, dude, now
Oh,
this turns more stealth MGSE, like MGSS.
interesting. Okay.
So it changes the dynamic. So that really like, I'm spending way too much time in Death Stranding, and I so far I'm enjoying it. It's like my little cozy game, like my Animal Crossing, I guess, hyperfixation. That's what it feels like.
Kojima in shambles right now because you're enjoying his game.
Yeah, dude, oh no. Kojima's like, what the heck, dude? We made it worse.
What are they doing? No.
Yeah, put the headline right there.
Well, it's interesting because the bit of like, oh, you earn more like colors or like music for doing things for those people, like for me, like that, I think that's cool. But to me, it sounds like Kojima was told, dude, put something in, like they're gonna do it anyway, so just give them a reward for doing something like that. So it's like, okay,
Yeah,
fair enough. But
the
yeah.
game is honestly so much better. Like this is the only, like, aside from Assassin's Creed 2, I think this and Arkham City, this is the only sequel to me. My current recollection at the time of recording, that I'm like, this is the only sequel, or one of the only sequels that is significantly better than the previous game, where like
Ooh.
they unlock a lot of things for you, and they have like this like they
Understanding
have
of
like
like,
this
hey, like we know you've done this already. Let's add to the formula kind of
yeah,
thing. Yeah.
there's also like some things that you can unlock, um like it's like not necessarily a skill tree, because like it's like then you can like allocate things where like, oh, um now your scan radar is much faster and much quicker, or oh, now your footsteps are much quieter, so you're better at stealth, or
Ah,
now your gun also auto headshots. Like there's
you
like
can
some
customize how you
quirks.
play, essentially, is what you're saying.
Exactly, yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So yep.
Okay.
So
Nice. I would say I would add to that
yeah.
sequels list. I don't know if you've played it, but Dishonored 2 I think also does the same thing where it expands greatly on the original.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, that's besides the point.
Yeah. So yeah, I've just been spending too much time there, but I mean, I'm
Nice.
enjoying it. Yeah. What about yourself? How's your week
Um.
been? Any changes?
Well,
Any new game?
yeah. So I've been kind of all over the place in terms of gaming and stuff. So I did watch Superman. Once Ahmed watches it, we can see about doing like a potential spoiler cast, maybe like 30-40 minutes. We'll see, probably 30 minutes ish. But yeah. So other than that, I haven't really watched anything. Just still going through Ted Lasso. We're about episode 5 or 6 into season 3. So I'm excited to get, like, I can see the ending horizon, if that makes sense, of like, okay, like they're bringing up these plot lines and these things where it's like, okay, I think I can see how the show's gonna end, but I'm waiting and seeing, obviously. So very much enjoying it, I would say.
Yeah, it is a great show if you have Apple
TV.
TV.
Yes, and if you don't have Apple TV, find some other way to watch it. That's
Yeah, man. 123.com.
No, so legal ways.
Bro, it's a website, bro. It's legal, dude.
That's true.
Anyways, okay, sorry.
Whoa. All right.
Actually, I'm gonna.
Redact that. No. Other than that, gaming wise, I've been playing. So I was doing some post game cleanup in Clair Obscur, and I killed some bosses that I was having trouble with before. I optimized my build to be like crazy, and I was at a point where it's like, okay, like I really want to fight the super bosses, or like fight some. I fought a couple of them, but I want to fight like the super boss. What's a good way to do that? And people were saying, oh, like, hey, like realistically, just like try to like you can do it like the perfect way, or you can optimize your build to be like the one shot nuke type of thing. So I tried to do that. I found out there was like a lot more in terms of like things I just had to go and find and get, and I was like, okay, I don't really have the desire to do that at the moment. So for now, I'm putting a pause on Clair Obscur, I would say, and then I will come back to it when I'm feeling the hankering. But rest assured, I am still giving it a 10 out of 10. This game is fantastic, super worth your time. If you have not played it yet, do so. Then I also played some of the alters. This is the game where we talked about last week about using Gen AI, but essentially the concept is you are a like engineer on this space rig, and you're told like, hey, your crew is basically dead. You have to clone yourself to help manage the ship to escape the planet. And the way you play the game, the way you treat your alters and all that stuff has an effect on the ending. I did not beat the game. I got about 2 to 3 hours into it, and I have determined that this game, while conceptually is really cool, is not for me. And
Why?
so the reason being is that I feel like I think the content is super cool, and I think what it's trying to do is really neat, and I think it does achieve what it's trying to do. It's just there's a lot of management that you have to do, and a lot of like resource gathering and manage and like thinking that like I personally don't want to really be like just don't want to think about right now. So I don't know if it's just I'm not in the right mental state to just play that game, but I have decided to put it away for now, to be honest. But it's not a bad game.
It's like is it? I'm assuming like it's more like. Would you say it's kind of like in a grind in some way that like Death Stranding is, where you have to like be in the thought process for it, or is it like is it just, oh, I'm just collecting iron and smelting it and that kind of vibe?
It's kind of like the iron smelting it. Like, okay, an example is you need to build, like, let's say a better kitchen for your botanist altar to make better food for your team. Well, in order to make a kitchen, you have to get like XYZ materials for it. Okay, you get the materials for it, but then another one of your altars says, hey, I actually need those materials to do this that I'm trying to do, and if you don't make me happy, something will happen. So it's like a managing of consequences, if that makes sense. And I'm not against it, but as of now, I'm just not in the place to be like, I don't want to deal with this kind of thought process.
Yeah, because there are some games where it's like it forces your hand to make a decision that like you're not gonna be comfortable, not necessarily not comfortable with, but like, hey, we're gonna just give you like two not ideal situations, where some games nowadays they give you like, hey, this is clearly the good path and then clearly the bad path. Like,
yeah,
like it sounds like you get some gray stuff that like can alter the ending.
Kind of. It's one of those things where yes, you could put one off and do it eventually, but it will just take more time to do it. You also only have like 8 hours in the game day, which like goes by quickly when you're doing tasks and things like that. So it's like just that scheduling and management I just don't want to deal with. That's it, you know.
Fair.
But it is a really cool high fidelity game. I do recommend people try it out. I don't want to discourage people from exploring it. It's just, for me, it's just a bit too much thinking. And then I also played this demo called Dead as Disco. You've probably seen it on TikTok, where you are fighting to the beat of music. And it's really interesting because they have pre-recorded songs in there in the demo, and it's really fun. It feels really like satisfying to play. And it's something to where it's like it's very much like kind of Arkham Combat, where you're like zipping from one end of the screen to the other, dodging enemies, parrying them, and it's not. The difficulty isn't trying to get combos, because it's pretty easy to do that. The difficulty is being aware of your surroundings and seeing what's coming at you, dodging it, deflecting it, you know, countering it, doing it at the right time to up your score. So very much a scoring chase game, if that makes sense. It's really cool though. I think you should try it out, honestly. It feels good to play.
I'm looking at the visuals. It's very this is like very reductive, but it looks like how some of the stylized arcane stuff was, with like the graffiti and highlighter outlines and things like that. So it's looks nice.
Yeah, very much so. And it's dope. I would highly recommend just trying it out. And if it's not for you, then obviously it's not for you. But they had like that song Maniac. They had like a cover of it, and people were they had like those kinds of songs, and then you can also upload your own songs, which is also kind of cool. I tried it.
Well, I'm just imagining somebody uploading the freaking McDonald's fry beeper sound.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You do have to set the BPM for it for the song, so I don't know how that works. Like I'm not musically inclined, so it asked me, hey, like, what's the BPM for this song? I was like, I don't know. So I don't know if it like if it turned out well when I uploaded a song, but you know, you can probably figure out how to do all that. So It's cool though. Definitely, I think it's worth a shot. At least trying.
Yeah, 100% someone's gonna do a run with a 10-hour loop of Neon Cat or something. Or
Oh, dude.
Epic Saxophone Guy.
Dude, I think people are gonna do a 10-hour loop of just like lo-fi music.
Bro, me just playing brown noise.
Just white. What was that thing where it's like that 10-hour loop of just silent, like just like white noise with the random like scream in the middle of it, or gunshots or something like that?
Yeah.
You could do something like that. It's stupid. And then I also played some more Lies of P. I've gotten back into it because I want to try the DLC. It feels good, man. And the only downside is that I forgot that I started a new game plus on my last playthrough, so I have to go in and like get to the point where I can access the DLC. So I'm doing that now, but that's good because I'm relearning the mechanics of like the pairing, the dodging, and like all that kind of stuff. So so far so good. I will report back when I get more into it. I'm still in the base game, so nothing new to say about it at this point in time, to be honest. And finally, what I have been playing a lot of actually is Evil Within 2. So I don't know why. I currently have 8 hours in, or about 10 hours into it. I don't know why, but I was having just a huge desire to play some kind of survival horror game, and I re-downloaded RE4, played it for a little bit. I'm like, I don't really want to play this again, so I left it. And I'm like, oh, what's a fun game that I like really want to like check out? And I've played Evil Within 2 like a little bit before. You know, I've watched playthroughs on YouTube, things like that. And I'm like, oh man, I want to play this. Like, I want to play a game that I can optimize the game to be like under my boot, if that makes sense. You know, like
what do you mean? Like, are you saying like you want to be so good at it that you're like low-key a speedrunner?
Not speedrunner. No. It's more so like, okay, like for example, like I'm playing Evil Within 2 and it's like the game's difficulty is that like, hey, like there's going to be zombies everywhere. It's about conserving your resources and like not engaging with every enemy and like, you know, all that stuff. And I'm like, oh, but like, I feel like if I do it right, I can engage with every enemy and get the rewards for doing so and have things, you know, like saved. So like I'll run into a boss fight and I'll have like 5 to 10 sniper rifle rounds and like 5 to 10 shotgun rounds and like 30 pistol rounds. I'm like, oh dude, like, and I can just use a sniper and take out the boss in like 4 hits. I'm like, oh, this is like, I've optimized this like fight, or like gotten to a point where I can like, I'm not worried about things in this space, you know?
So you're saying like having an abundance of resources because of how you play, or is the feeling of I'm gonna make this shot count and like placing the shots right and then feeling satisfied, like
yeah, a little bit of both, where it's like, oh dude, like because I'm hitting these shots and getting these headshots, I'm saving my resources and I'm clearing out these areas faster, and I'm getting their like XP when I kill them to spend on myself as a character, which makes me even more powerful. Like I got like, I'm like, oh, like, okay, the shotgun and like the sniper are like really strong for the first, like, let's say like 10 acts of the game, right? Just as an example. Naturally, that's how these games kind of go. So I'm like, oh, I don't have to touch these at all. Let me instead just pour all of my upgrades into my pistol, make it like a rocket essentially. And now the pistol is like, has a 60% crit rate. It does 200% damage. And it's like, oh, because I like really focused in on it. And now it's just like a beast to use, you know? So things like that.
Man, you got the freaking Men in Black pistol.
The cricket, yeah.
Yeah, where you shoot it.
Just like go flying. Just Wilhelm scream like off a cliff. That actually, it's also fun because like no matter how powerful you feel in these kind of games, and I really appreciate like a good survival horror that can make you feel this way, where I'm running around. I was on Discord playing it actually, and you were listening. I'm running around and I'm like, oh, I like killing things or whatever. And then like the way that the game scares you, it's sometimes it's a cheap jump scare, or sometimes it's like a really like random scare that like, oh shit, like I didn't expect that. And like I'll be playing and I was like chilling and just like like all of a sudden just get like hyperventilate because I didn't realize it was gonna come up like that.
We were on Discord with a friend watching Attack on Titan. Like we've all seen it. It's like this one friend who hasn't, and Hadi's just playing, and all of a sudden you hear, oh my god, like that. You good, man?
I feel bad because I'm like low key like ruining his Attack on Titan experience while he's watching it. But like, I did it once, and he's like, oh what did I miss? I'm like, no, not you. Don't worry about it. Just watch the show, you know. But overall, it's a really fun game. It's not greatly optimized for PC. Like there are some stutters and things like that, and it's funny enough, it's having a hard time running at like such a high frame rate, if that makes sense. Um,
Yeah.
I think it came out on PS3, but regardless, good game. I am going to finish it because I just am really enjoying it. No complaints or anything like that either. So
Mm. Yep.
yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, so we'll do a Superman spoiler cast probably later. It'll be separate from the podcast, so just letting you guys know, if you guys wanted to take a look at that, it'll be on all of the usual platforms. Yeah, let's start talking about the news here. The first story we have on the docket is about Forza Motorsport. So there are 2 Forza games that come out on occasion, and they take their time with it. There's Forza Horizon, which is the open world kind of like wandering around a countryside game, more arcadey, not as much sim like. It is the last one that came out was Forza Horizon 5, which is in Mexico, and pretty fun. It's a really good game, very high quality. And the other one that comes out usually is called Forza Motorsport. And Forza Motorsport is a more closer to sim racing, and it's like a really it's like a track-based racer, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like more like Gran Turismo in that vibe, where it's like a little, somewhat kind of sim racing, basically.
Yeah, essentially. And so with Forza Motorsport, because of all the Microsoft layoffs, and we talked about it last week, this news actually came out right as we were finishing up the show last week, but essentially Turn 10 has reported, which is a studio that makes the Forza Motorsport specifically. I'm just going to call it Motorsport. They have lost approximately 50% of its headcount. And because of that, this has affected their ability to make Motorsport. A former employee at Turn 10 has revealed that Forza Motorsport series is canceled, with the studio now becoming effectively a support studio for Forza. The reason I put this in the docket is just because I feel like this is a really huge hit that I was not expecting to come off of these layoffs, to be honest.
Yeah. Like I think even before all this stuff, like Turn 10 apparently was comprised, like, I don't know if the percentages, but let's just say like 50% full time and then 50% contractors, where the contractors come in, they support they work on the core functionality of the game, and then since they ship the game, they're no longer working for as part of the studio, and so then you're getting this like brain drain where you have people that have the context but aren't actively there through the whole life cycle. So now you're talking about like the development of the game was already kind of like propped up with like duct tape with contractors because of how Microsoft is using them. And then now the original, like the core people that are actually working on the game are now like half of them are gone. So it's like there's so much like there's like a skeleton that's like left over, I guess, right? So that's kind of unfortunate to see. Which it's crazy because I feel like Forza was such not a system seller, but it was like one of the exclusives in like the 360 era. So
yeah, I mean, Forza is one of the brands that you would expect to be untouchable, like Halo, Call of Duty, ironically enough, Candy Crush, because it makes them so much money. Like I am just so surprised that they laid off half the studio and that they said, hey, one of the former employees is like, hey, like, dude, this is done. We can't work, yeah, I honestly don't know. I'm shocked, and I thought that Microsoft would kind of protect its like indie or not indie darlings, but
like the core, like one of like I guess one of its initial system seller pillars, I guess.
Yeah, exactly, but it didn't. So now you have to ask, like, what is safe at Microsoft, if anything? I don't think anything is, because it's so insane right now with all the layoffs and stuff. So why would anybody sign with Microsoft at that point? Because like I would tell any studio that's looking to, like, if being offered like a Game Pass deal from Microsoft, like, hey, like, do not like go there, because they at their core don't understand like what is going on over there. They don't understand what they're doing. They don't understand how what's happening is affecting their workers. Like very big case in point, and this is our next story. Matt Turnbull, who's an executive producer at Xbox Publishing, tweeted out or put a LinkedIn post out about it was the most brain dead things to put on a LinkedIn post. So a big reason for these layoffs is, one, so that Microsoft can hire offshore workers. It's cheaper, and they don't have to pay them as much, and they don't have to fund a lot of things they had to do for American workers. And two, they're requiring a lot of their employees to kind of input AI into their workspace so that it can teach it how to do things that they want the AI to do. Like, it's essentially anything that's coming out of Microsoft is being fed to their Copilot, and it's causing it's a battle between getting offshore workers because they're cheaper, and AI can do a lot of these jobs, therefore let's get rid of a bunch of these people. So Matt Turnbull he put a LinkedIn post, which is essentially, it's wild. Here's the bulk of it, which he says: I know these are really challenging times, and if you're navigating a layoff or even quietly preparing for one, you're not alone, and you don't have to go it alone. That's good so far, right? I know these types of tools engender strong feelings into people, but I'd be remiss in not trying to offer the best advice I can under the circumstances. I've been experimenting with ways to use LLM AI tools like GPT or Copilot to help reduce the emotional and cognitive load that comes with job loss. And then he proceeds to say, hey, here's some prompts you can use: career planning prompts, resume, LinkedIn help, networking outreach, emotional clarity and confidence. And he says at the bottom, no AI tool is a replacement for your voice or your lived experience, but at a time when mental energy is scarce, these tools can help you get unstuck faster, calmer, and with more clarity. If this helps, feel free to share with those in your network. And dude, what are your thoughts?
Crazy because there's a section in his LinkedIn post that says, for emotional clarity and confidence, I'm struggling with imposter syndrome after being laid off. Can you help me reframe this experience in a way that reminds me that I'm good at it? What, dude? Bro, it's so it's like, hey guys, I'm sorry that you're being kicked out of here. Use it feels, if you watch the Truman Show, and where Jim Carrey is like, oh my god, I don't know what to do with my life anymore, and then the actress wife is like, oh, how about you drink some Ovaltine, and then she's holding it in the camera, and it's dude, what
he's like, who are you talking to right now? What is wrong with you, dude?
Literally,
that's such a good way to put it. To sit here and be like, bro, hey buddy, hand on the shoulder, buddy, listen, I understand that this is a hard time for you, and I get it, this is a very challenging time. But bro, listen, the AI that we built, dog, it'll help you through this. I'm telling you, it's the best thing we got. And it's just dude, you did not read the room in the slightest, God, dude.
How about he uses the LLM to be like, yo, how can I save money?
Yeah, dude. Well, maybe that's what he did. Maybe that's what he did. You don't know, man.
Oh, no.
Maybe that's what he did. But
AI went rogue.
Okay, being completely honest, I understand what he's trying to do. However, it is incredibly tone deaf and I don't think it's healthy to do that as an executive producer, to be like, oh, I know you got laid off, but hey, why don't you use the AI that we built to help you through it? It's dude, you should be offering support for your workers, and this is such a shit show already. This is not helping. And he did delete the post, but still, that just kind of shows that the attitude over at Microsoft and things like that don't care about these workers, and they haven't cared about the Xbox division in a while, to where it's they'll figure it out,
Yeah, it really feels it feels like Xbox is the ball and chain that's on Microsoft. I think in a way they've outgrown it.
You're saying Microsoft has outgrown Xbox?
Yeah. Like before, they were struggling with so many, they were imagine the stories, okay, they came out with Windows Vista, and it was kind of dookie, and then they came out with Windows 7, people really liked it, and then they were trying to make phones that sucked. They tried to make Bing, that sucked, and then okay, Xbox, the 360 seems to be doing good, but then Xbox One, bam, everything's a dumpster fire, and then they get their cloud and their AI stuff is booming, so they're yo, everything is kind of worthless now. Like in hindsight, right? Where it's like, why, like they found the one thing that works. Why keep this
explore
around,
more?
right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
I think
yeah.
because there has been a report apparently, right? So this comes from like one of the Windows Central folks, which is like a Xbox Windows kind of blog.
Mhm.
So it's saying that the Microsoft CEO Amy Hood essentially is giving Xbox like very unrealistic financial requirements to the gaming division. So this is sort of like the like Xbox is kind of getting put on a pip plan, it seems, right? Where it's like, hey, like we're gonna give you this like unrealistic thing, and if you meet it, great, dude, you're the goat, you're sticking around. Otherwise, hey man, you gotta reconsider certain things, right? Which,
Yeah.
that sounds like what's like that kind of like tracks with like the kind of sentiment like how we've seen like the last like 4 or 5 layoffs, right? Where they're just like, I don't know,
So
they're putting them up for slaughter in a way.
so let me ask you this, right? With everything going on over at Xbox, with the way that they're running the company, with like the layoffs, things like that, do you think Microsoft has just cut their ties and sell off Xbox and just get rid of it? Or like, do you like, what do you think is the solution here, or like the path? Because if they get rid of it, that's a lot of money off the table, and it's a lot of money invested off the table as well. But at the same
Exactly,
time,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
not doing anything with it. So like, is it just like a, oh, this is something we have to pay for? You know, like what do you think?
Yeah. It's so I think like if like with Phil Spencer, right? He said it right where they lost the worst generation to lose in, which is the PS4, Xbox One era, right?
Mhm.
Because if you look at like the between the PS4 and PS5, like it doesn't really feel like a, aside from graphics, it doesn't feel like a crazy jump in a new frontier, right? Two to three was huge. 3 to 4, I feel like you got like insane fidelity, and like they opened up some a lot more options with like what can be rendered from like open world perspective, because you have a lot more RAM and like a lot more compute. But now we're sort of at this like it's sort of stagnated, right? Where
Mhm.
you can, a lot of people argue between 4 and 5 is just like graphical upgrades in a way, right? Like maybe loading times, but that's like here or there. Like a lot of games are both available on 4 and 5. That's maybe is what the point I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah.
So from his perspective, he's like, okay, now like people that are already on PlayStation 4, they're gonna go to the 5. So then and the Xbox base is getting smaller and smaller. So he like it's like a multi-stage plan to make Xbox like to get it outside of the console like world and make it into like a platform publishing world. And I think we are gonna see that with the Xbox handheld, right? I personally
Hmm.
think that like it's all in here, and if the ally whatever freaking what is this code name, Xbox Ally ROGX freaking I did the freaking whatchamacallit Winter Soldier activation code, just saying the name.
Oh
um
yeah.
yeah, that's such a mouthful. But I think that handheld and the shift of Windows 11 gaming view is going to be like, this is the make or break. This
Interesting.
there's no getting out of this, right? Like I like in the past, I was like, I could see where what Phil Spencer is trying to do,
Man
because
used his whole government name, Philip Spencer.
Philip Spencer. I
Philip
don't know, man.
Gregory
No,
Spencer, get
I,
down here and
for the
save
record,
Xbox right now.
I did not say Philip. I said
It's
Phil, and
it sounded
then
like Philip, but
I was swallowing my. I had to maintain talking composure. No, but yeah, I could see what he was trying to do,
yeah.
and then Microsoft is getting impatient, or Microsoft is getting impatient because like they're throwing money at him, and like, where's the returns? What's going on? Blah blah blah.
Mhm.
So I think this is the clearest shot for him to showcase this. Now Xbox is a platform. If it doesn't work, then dude, I can't see Microsoft spending more money on this, right? Because Game Pass, like to do Game Pass initially, was such a like, why, like it's because okay, the story was, why would you do Game Pass? There's nobody playing Xbox. Nobody owns an Xbox console. It's like, okay, fine. Then it's like bring Game Pass to other places that aren't the Xbox. Okay,
Yep.
now you make a Steam Deck competitor that plays that. Okay, now you've kind of like laid out the whole story arc. We're at like the climax section, and like the narrative peak. What's gonna happen next? So we have to see. But there are like a lot of numbers surrounding Game Pass and the feasibility of it. And, like, how the hell is this even feasible for Microsoft, right? Because like they're flipping this on its head. I think you want to jump into this one.
Oh yeah, dude. So,
Or-
yeah. I mean, you got it. You have it up already.
Okay, yeah. So apparently, the way how Xbox kind of gets games on the Game Pass is they give deals to, I think primarily to the publishers, and that kind of works its way down to developers. But
And this is something
it
that we've
range-
known, by the way. This is not something like some new secret. Like it's like, hey, like let's say Ahmed makes a game. I come to you, say, hey, I will pay you. I will buy X amount of copies from you to put your game on Game Pass, and that's like the baseline. That's what we understood before. So, but yeah, continue.
Yeah, so a former business manager at Microsoft basically kind of shared that some of the negotiations for the deals, they're ranging between like 50K to 50 million, right? So that's like the range of like offering that they'll go to studios or publishers and be like, yo, I really want your game on Game Pass, like bring it over, and we'll cut you this deal for like this amount of time, right? Which is crazy because like 50 million for a game, like that's and for some games that's like a quarter of their budget that just get right away, right?
Yeah.
And there's, I think, a lot of criticism about, I mean, pretty valid, about Game Pass, right? About how this changes consumer habits, how this changes game development, right? Where
Well,
I
like
guess
game devs are like straight up. There's a sentiment going around where it's like, hey, unless your game is offered Game Pass, it's not worth building a version for Xbox. Just straight up, right? And it's like, okay, that's a pretty crazy like statement. But what kind of money is Xbox throwing around for this to be brought up, right?
Yeah, that's because because I think,
did you say the numbers specifically already or no?
The 50 to
Yeah, 50. Yeah.
million. Yeah, it's yeah, because it definitely does like put a hamper in how games are being made. Because imagine like you're kind of being offered like a lump sum of a game, and where some people are kind of expecting like there are very few games that can make money like after, like way after like it's been released, right? Like I think a lot of the game is generations like within like the first year, in terms of profit, is my guess, right?
Yeah.
So if you're kind of putting people on a subscription path that you only get paid like in one lump sum, unless it gets renewed, like I don't know how developers or publishers feel about this. And then from a consumption standpoint, like people aren't buying games like some of the Xbox gamers, like they just rely on Game Pass. Like there's a lot of times I haven't buying games because I was like, I'll just get it on Game Pass, so it's
yeah.
Well,
like the thing is, some of these costs, like you said it earlier, like 50 to 50 million, 50,000 to 50 million. It could be 50 million plus. Like that's just a number that was thrown in there, but people have seen deals more than that. The thing is like if they're throwing numbers like this around and they're developing their own first party games that are just automatically going to, like, okay, Doom: The Dark Ages is a first party Xbox game, right? And it's being thrown into Game Pass day one. The question has to be asked, like, okay, if you're charging $80 for this game, or not $80, $70 for this game, and it's also on Game Pass, there's no way that it's profitable, right? Because you're, and it was reported by, let me find it here. It was reported by Christopher Dring. Basically on Twitter, someone asked, like, so Game Pass itself is profitable, but Xbox, including studios, is not. So not seen anywhere, but it wouldn't surprise me. And then he responds with saying, I asked for clarification on the Game Pass's profitable claim, and they were told that there was no first party cost included. So
Oof.
so if you're telling me that it costs X amount of money to make the game and it's becoming more expensive to make games in general, which I am reluctant to buy, but I understand, I will say, okay, let's assume that you're correct. You're telling me that you're making these deals with third-party companies, and you're telling your first-party companies you need to put it on Game Pass, neglecting sales for you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. It's like they're definitely double dipping in the accounting, right? Because they're because they're going around, like, imagine it's I think this is general in companies, right? Where some sections are literally physically divided to not have some level of interference. So you can have like the Bethesda, they're like, we're gonna make our game, everybody's gonna buy it, and then Microsoft, in Xbox Game Pass is like, or Xbox Game Pass is going to Microsoft and be like, yo, can we get some games? They're like, yo, actually, we made this in house. They just pick it over the fence and drop it over and be like, ah, it was free. But the double dipping is, oh, like, I'm playing it on Game Pass. Why would I go buy it from you, Bethesda?
What's I'm
Like,
saying?
even though it,
yeah. No, yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's a very good point. And it's also like, if you're losing potential sales by putting it on Game Pass and you're seeing those numbers, Game Pass conversions, okay, fine, fair enough. But there's no way that you're making like you're telling me that for every Doom Eternal copy that's $70, you're telling me you have 2.5 people signing up on Game Pass to play it and like retaining that membership. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure that there are people who pay for Game Pass for like a month, play the game, and then cancel it. And I'm sure there are also people who purchase Game Pass and are subscribed to it because it's like, oh, might as well. But and I'm sure there's also a category of people who purchase it, mean to cancel it, and forget. I'm sure all of that is factored in. But you can't tell me that Game Pass is making these $50+ million deals, also not paying for first party games like that, and like is still profitable. I personally just don't believe it. I don't think it's possible.
Yeah. Like, it's I think they might have to take down some bigger names, probably down the road, or like I can see this working out in the future if somehow magically games get cheaper to make and they can like sign on some indies. Like, I would imagine that it wasn't that expensive to get Clear Obscure on there or Blueprints, you know. But I don't think people are signing, like, I don't think people would have signed up in it like prior to the games being released just to play those games. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
they get whales and then they get like some like games that are cheaper, right? But it depends how people's outlooks on games change, I think. So
I think it's also, I think a big point that I also want to highlight is like, in a scenario like Claire Obscure, I would argue has all the bargaining power in this situation, right? Because they put it on Game Pass, I believe the same time as like the regular game released, or around the same time, whatever the case is. But Claire Obscure had made an Xbox version, right? They were gonna sell it on Xbox anyways, and then they're like, I wouldn't be surprised, and I would applaud the Sandfall for doing this, where it's like, they're like, all right, let's release an Xbox version, and they're like, okay, actually, hold off on that. Let's wait and see if Xbox offers us a deal for Game Pass. And lo and behold, they came up and they did. So, you know, like, why wouldn't they wait?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, there are a lot of great games to play on Xbox Game Pass. So much so that Giantbombs released the top 100 games of the 21st century. This is article. It's, I believe, a community poll for folks to vote on the what games they think are the best within the 21st century. Bro, it's crazy. How long is the 21st century, man?
Dude,
I feel like I've been hearing this for a while, man.
Yeah, it's been a bit. COVID extended it a couple times, to be honest. I wouldn't be.
Where's the 22nd century?
Yeah, I wish, but no, I mean, this is a cool list. I'll be honest. Like, I looked through it. I don't know if you got a chance to look through it. Have you taken a look yet?
I have taken a look. I'll be honest. I initially was looking at like the list just to kind of see like how, like, because I initially thought this was done by the initial staff, right?
Yeah.
And I controlled F to find Batman. I was like, yo, where did they put Batman? I was literally gonna punch my screen, punch the door, I was gonna go on the rooftop, do an inverted takedown on the editors, bro. Because I was like, where the hell is this game?
Yeah.
It's a generational game, but it's a community poll from my understanding. So I was like, all right, some of y'all need to play the game. But anyway.
So that's the thing, right? The fact that it's a community poll makes me think, okay, there has to be some bias here for recent games because, like, you know, like,
yeah,
why not? But surprisingly, there's like a good mix of like older games like Fallout New Vegas, Portal 2, Halo 3, like all these things are in here.
MGS2, MGS3, top 20.
So that's the thing. I wanted to go through the top 20, just read through them and like just kind of, if you have something to say about it, just let me know. But like, I think that the top 20 of this list is very interesting because it's a good mix of modern and classic game titles as well. And I would also argue that everything on this list, everything on this list deserves a spot, but especially in the top 20, I think makes sense.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I'll go down in order from 20 downwards. So 20 being least, and then number 1 being the most votes. So 20 is Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty.
He's the GOAT! That's why he's the GOAT!
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT! Yeah, no, this is a fun game. I hope they re-release it, but they probably won't ever.
It's on PC if you want to get the like initial release, but yeah.
Okay, I might try that. Nier Automata wasn't my thing, but I've heard that like it's like generationally amazing, so I respect it being here.
Yeah, it's the art style killed it for me. Like I couldn't vibe with it, but it is a great game.
Fair. Metal Gear Solid 3, so that's 2 Kojima games in here already. The GOAT! Clair Obscur is number 17, which is phenomenal. And I think just for context, it beat things like Super Mario Galaxy,
it beat Halo 3 according to the people.
Yeah, Yakuza 0, like Undertale. So that's like a pretty big accomplishment to be here at the moment, you know? And I would say some of it could be attributed to recency bias, but having played it myself, I would agree to put it at 17, you know? Maybe higher, but 17 is respectable. Then we have Resident Evil 4, the original, which is very fair. Great game. I did play through it before playing the remake. It was pretty fun. 15 is World of Warcraft, and for the cultural impact, yeah, of course, right? Like, you're gonna sit here and tell me that like that doesn't deserve a spot in the top 100 games? Like, no.
That's like I think the only game, one of the few games running from before I was born. Actually, no, JK, it's probably. I'm not that old. No,
you were born 2004.
I'm not that young.
You wish, brother. You wish.
No, I was not born. Yeah, but it's an old game. It's been there for a while. So yeah, that game graduated college. If you think about it.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Then we got at 14 Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah, I mean that's fair. Like it's a very well talked about game. People love it, and I feel like it wouldn't be fair to give it lower, if that makes sense.
It is a very great cowboy simulator.
Yes, that is exactly what it is, and people want that. People crave the Black Plague again, or whatever they had. What was the Black Plague? No, what did they have in
it was bronchitis.
Bronchitis. There it is.
That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna say more.
No, tuberculosis, not bronchitis.
Oh, JK.
You got it wrong. But then we got Hades at number 13. So this one was interesting, and this kind of is what made me want to put on the list. Is like, I think that a mark of an amazing game is how many things have come after it that just try to mimic the exact same thing it is. And Hades is one of those games where there have been so many Hades likes, and I mean specifically the view, the art style, like the palette. Like there's been like 3 or 4 in the past year at least. And it's not a bad thing. It's just really interesting to see how much of a shift in the gaming genre it made, you know?
Yeah. People are inspired. It's a good thing to be inspired. It's a different thing to clone it. So yeah.
Exactly. So sorry, I say clone, but like I mean like inspired by. But
no. I mean I'm not dogging on you, but I would assume people are trying to do like a 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Like even how you get power ups and how the run changes. It's like, okay, I think you need to add some twist to it maybe, but yeah.
Yeah. Number 12 is Disco Elysium. Did you play Disco Elysium?
Bro, I can't read. So no, I didn't.
Fair enough. Very heavy. Yeah. What are these words? What the hell? What's going on? Help! Just like scared.
Well, I feel like Floyd Mayweather, bro.
Oh no. What if it's like his favorite game? He surprises everyone.
Oh god.
Surprise. Yeah, no. Disco Elysium is deserving at number 12 simply because it does something that I have not seen done in a game, where it is an entire book inside of a game, and yet people are willing to play it and replay it and just really enjoy like the world it's building. And it's a game that really knows what it's about, and it doesn't try to front as something else, you know? And I think it's very respectable for what that team was able to do with what they had as well. So 12 is very deserved, I would say. Then we have 11, Super Mario Odyssey. Yeah, I mean, I think it's the tightest Mario game I've played ever. Most of my polish on stuff.
I think one of the first, aside from Super Mario Bros. 2, this is the only other Super Mario game I played. But you could tell Nintendo's like, yo, we're gonna do something unique with it. And I think the fact that there's so much player expression with how you platform, like it revolutionized. I don't know. I don't say revolutionized, but it was like such a unique thing where like, oh, you can throw Cappy, and then you can make a platform sort of anywhere. And then the speedrunning community went off the rails with it. So it was great to see just from a technical kind of gameplay system. Yeah,
it's just Nintendo being like, yo, how can we expand on this formula? And they did. And then they went back to Mario again later on the 2D side scroller, and they made Wonder. And it's like the same team is now also making Donkey Kong Bonanza. So it's just a thing where it's like the Mario Odyssey team specifically. It's just a thing where it's like, dude, like the level of polish and the level of innovation that comes from these games and this studio, regardless of all the other stuff that's not good about them, that cannot, like, that you can't ever dog on it, where it's like Nintendo is respectable in what they put out and they stand by it, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and so now we get into the top 10. So I have not actually seen the top 10. I stopped at when I saw Odyssey, because I was like, okay, I want to save the top 10 for when we get on the podcast. So this is also new to me. Nice. So we have number 10, Half-Life 2. Yeah, like, what do you...
I haven't played it, but I mean, yeah, very, very instrumental from my understanding from like gaming historical perspective of like the physics and kind of like environmental storytelling. Yeah, very, very big in that aspect. So it's great. Got people foaming at the mouth right now thinking about the third one.
Yeah, so I mean, there you go. Like, what can you say about Half-Life 2 that hasn't already been said? So fair enough at number 10. Number 9, Dark Souls 1. Surprised to see this here. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you,
bro. You should have done 3. I'm gonna, bro. I don't know if they're thinking from like, oh, the OG that did it. You should have done Demon Souls. But I mean, granted, Demon Souls is it was a little too gimmicky. Yeah. Dark Souls felt like the one that was like starting the formula, but how are you gonna put Dark Souls there?
The thing is,
at minimum 3 is better, in my opinion, for me.
Fair enough. The thing is, I think Dark Souls 1. I love Dark Souls 1. I've replayed it countless times. The thing about Dark Souls 1 is that it is a good game that's a very cemented snapshot of its time, not product of its time. Snapshot, meaning the jank, the goofiness of how like the game feels and all this stuff. Like, it's very much like, oh, this is a, you know, PS3 or whatever game, and it shows and feels like it. And I can understand it being at 9. Would I put it at 9 personally? I don't know. I think I would agree with you and put 3 instead, but it's still very good. But we don't know what comes down later in the list, so maybe something else will be higher. But 9 is surprising because, like, if I jump to like a random point in this list, like let's say I go up to like, I don't know, 45. Last of Us 2 is 45. So, like, and Sekiro's at 28. So it's just an interesting like way to like, and again, this is a fan voted poll, so take that with the grain of salt.
It's like aggregated, like like stack ranking, I'm assuming. So yeah,
so but I still think that's cool that like it hit 9, and it makes you think about like, oh, like what do people value in gaming, and like what do people want in games, and evidently Dark Souls 1 is something where people are like, oh, this is it, you know. Then we have number 8, Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt.
I'm surprised.
Really? You're surprised?
I would have moved it up, man, in my opinion.
Moved it up to
that's not where I would put that number 8.
What would you put?
I would
Where would you put Witcher if you could put it on this
top
list?
5.
Top five.
In my humble opinion.
I will agree with you that. Yeah, I would agree with you, to be honest. It's a generational game, and it's so good.
It's a little janky with the combat, but like everything else around it, I think the story, the premise of the story is really great.
Mhm.
How, like, how do I say this without saying it? Like how you get towards the ending that you're getting, and how, and like the through line that gets drawn, and the story that gets told about like one of the plot segments and how it relates to the ending.
Yeah,
I think is very good.
this is a good way to put it.
So,
I would also say like
yeah.
the storytelling of the game itself in its somewhat kind of non-linear fashion is very, very good, and it handles itself very well.
Mhm.
And the combat is not the best, so maybe that's why it's at number 8 instead of higher,
Mhm.
because it is a little bit rough. But again, so is Dark Souls 1. But Dark Souls 1 is also a product of its time, or snapshot of its time. So that's something to think about. But okay, I think 8 is
Sorry,
respectable.
real
Yeah.
quick. Sorry, I need a second. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. I'll pause. Sorry about that, boys. We had a little pee situation going on here.
Oh, you could have just went with the recording at number 7, bro. God, why you gotta do this to me, bro?
I didn't say it was you. You outed yourself. It could have been me. You don't know.
Oh my god. Bro, I literally asked. I ended it with like, "Yo, give me a second."
Yeah, but you could have been doing
Hey
it for
guys,
me.
welcome back. Someone just pissed himself.
For the record, Ahmed did not piss himself. He ate a lot of asparagus, so he had to go and get that done.
Damn, bro.
But what number were we on? 7?
Yeah, we just finished number 8.
Okay, number 7, Bloodborne. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I don't know if I would put this at 7. I think it should be like 10 or something. Simply because I love Bloodborne. I think it's a fantastic game. I don't know, in terms of gaming, like game defining genre and changes and things like that, and innovation, I don't know if it belongs at 7. It's not a bad game. I love this game with all my heart, but like, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Bloodborne. I think it's because it has a very specific art style. Like, you can argue.
Interesting. Okay.
Like, it's the vibe that it brings, right? It's like very. It starts off like vampires and werewolves, and oh my god, this is a like gothic kind of thing.
Mhm.
Then it takes a left turn, and you're like, what the hell is going on, right? Where I think some of the other Souls and Sekiro, you sort of kind of get the vibe of like what's happening, and I think like mechanically how you see the left turn happen is an interesting thing to see in the world. So
that's fair. Okay.
Yeah,
I can see that. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a hard like, oh, this shouldn't be here, like how dare it, but I am a little surprised to see it at 7. That's all.
fair.
Okay, 7, and now 6, Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, absolutely. I would say. Just the sheer amount of just content within the game itself, and how the level of player expression available to you is just phenomenal. And I think 6 is very fair, to be honest. What do you think? Lower, higher?
I would say, yeah. Look at the next game and you tell me.
What is next? Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, interesting.
Bro,
Okay.
Tears of the Kingdom, I think is way too high on that list.
Okay. I agree with you. I'm playing through Tears of the Kingdom again right now, and I'm liking it a lot, but 5 is insane, especially since like 90% of or I'd say like 70% of the game is like a repeat of the last game,
Yeah, honestly.
Um,
And it's like it does some stuff, but it's like it could have been like an expansion pack, honestly.
really?
Like, and it didn't have to go hard. It didn't have to go so hard with the with the underground and sky stuff.
So I actually don't know if I agree with you on that. I actually really like how hard it goes on that stuff, but I'm just saying like most of the base game is pretty similar to Breath of the Wild, and so I don't know that on that principle alone, I don't know if it belongs as 5. Because I do think it is significant the amount of stuff they put in the game, but
yeah, I don't know, man. It's for some reason I looked at it, I was like, okay, I guess.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I would switch Baldur's Gate and Tears of the Kingdom easily, though, to be honest. Like 5 for Baldur's Gate and then Tears of the Kingdom at 6, no problem.
Yep.
Number 4, Mass Effect 2. Yeah, I would agree. Yep. I would agree with that. Bonafide classic.
Mass Effect 2 is great. Honestly, I initially played it without playing the first game, and then I played the trilogy, and I still felt that 2 was the best one in the trilogy.
Yeah, I can see that. I think 2 was the most tight and consistent with everything that was going on. I think 2 is great, honestly. If you haven't played Mass Effect, I definitely recommend it, and play from 1 to 3 simply because the game carries over what you do, and it's very interesting to see how it handles some of the decisions you make.
Yep. Yeah, it's honestly, it just the way they set up 2, it just the premise of it is just cool.
Yep.
Shepard's really great, and then the band of your crew is
it's fantastic as well.
Is awesome. Yep.
Okay. Number 3. Oh, let's go, baby. Let's go. Okay. All right. Number 3, we got Outer Wilds. Absolutely agree with this. I can see that 100%. What do you think?
Bro, I might just be too dumb. It's a good game, but it's
respectable. I see that. Okay. I'm not gonna go on another rant about how good this game is because I've done it before, but I just think that number 3 is deserved simply because of how much it innovates on playing a game and how much it innovates on storytelling and just what the game is trying to, how it encapsulates its own lessons within the gameplay. You know, so I think number 3 is just I think it's a very fair point in the list, but I also understand that point you're saying that like it's good, but if you're not into puzzles and things like that or this specific kind of puzzle game, you might want it lower on this list. So
yeah, like I'll say my problem with I was trying to figure out how if something was like physics based or like okay, like for example, the thing with blueprints will give you like the puzzle and be like, hey, you're gonna be. It's very clear if you have or have not solved this puzzle.
Yeah.
With Outer Wilds, I was like, dude, I am trying my hardest. Because I don't know if this is a timing thing or like a user input issue, but like I'm trying to get this thing going. I'm trying to like torpedo my rocket ship to certain planets, and I was like, and I'm messing up. So I was like, okay, I don't know if it's me or it's just I'm not supposed to be doing this.
That's fair.
Like that piece of information I couldn't get.
Okay, I respect that. Yeah, and I can fully acknowledge that there were some puzzles in it that were like, okay, a little rough, but you know, ultimately, for me, the package was so good I could see past those flaws. You know. Number 2, Elden Ring. Ooh, I would say, man, okay. As a culmination of everything From Software has learned up until this point, I can see why Elden Ring is number 2.
I'm just gonna say, dude, it was a generational game, bro. Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna go back and sing it. Like the fact that Kai Cenat was just playing it, and like there was like one, a lot of people were getting into it. 2, just the scope of it.
Yep.
And they made some good design decisions that made it so that you won't be as frustrated. Like you can explore everything. There's a lot of side quests and a lot of things that like you can naturally interact with.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of hidden dungeons. I don't know. It just felt like that sense of exploration when you're playing like a closely built like world in like a Soulsborne game. You got that feeling in like this massive like map, like where you get a piece of the map, you're like, okay, that's cool, that's a good size of the map, and then each subsequent map you get, you're like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah. Stop.
Where is this?
Please stop.
They're building like the stairway to Mars, bro.
Bro,
Stop, bro.
literally
How big is this
it's
map gonna get?
it's like that picture of like honey, time for your daily blank, and it's like honey, time for your daily Elden Ring expansion, like yes dear.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree with that, dude. The game was huge, and it also came out in a time where it's like this was it post COVID? I can't remember. When was COVID?
What was like March of 2020.
Okay, then never mind. Way past COVID, but yeah, it's just I think the group exploration of areas where it's like, dude, I found this like hidden dungeon or like this hidden boss mechanic or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
I think it's dope. You know.
Like someone explained that it was like in the era of the internet, this was the only time where it felt like you were learning something new about the game every day. Like it felt like that playground. Oh my god, did you know if you press up left right on GTA you get infinite ammo? Oh my, let me go try it. It's like
Yeah.
like that level of like, no way, dude, I have to see it for myself. That you got that so many times, like for like 3-4 months while the game was out. So yeah, it's I don't know, man, you never see it that frequently now. So
Yeah, I agree. Okay, and number 1, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Ooh. Okay. Interesting.
that's
Okay.
it's too much for me, man. I don't
What
know,
would
dude.
you put at
Like,
number 1?
what would I put at number 1?
Yeah.
Okay, it's easier to do like a top 5 and then work back and then like work your way into there. Like off rip, if I were to say something, I think I have not played a game like Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay.
And I think the depth that game has, and how it handles a lot of situations should be commended, right?
Yep.
Like there's a lot of situations where like, like there's like a key story item. Okay, this is not really a spoiler, but there's like one interaction you can have with somebody that has like that can like ignite like a barrel of like gunpowder, right? And like kill everybody. Most people, they just talk the character down and then you make them your ally. But what some people are like, oh, if I have one character talking to this person that's gonna blow up the barrel, and I get another character to go and pickpocket the barrel, like what's gonna happen? And the game handles that situation, and it's like, oh, they kind of thought of like the unique situations here, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of player expression, and there's so many times where like just me playing the game, there was a segment where I was like, dude, I don't know if this is gonna work. The game's gonna end here. Like the factory's gonna blow up, and then I did like some move to like I use a spell to like push my guy out of like some blast area when I didn't have any movement, and then like I healed him the next round. I was like, oh my god, I felt so smart. But the game doesn't tell you like, oh, by the way, you have this spell, you should use it. It's all about like the it felt like I was actually playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
And I was like being rewarded for my cleverness, you know?
Fair enough.
So,
yeah, that's true. Man, okay, that's a really good explanation, dude. I would agree with that. But I also fully understand why Breath of the Wild is here. Man, okay. After looking at the top 20, whatever we just looked at, I can say that I understand why, even with my own biases in here of like Outer Wilds and stuff, I can understand. Oh, Titanfall 2 is 59. I can understand why Breath of the Wild is number 1, simply because of how good this game was when it first came out. It's still good now, and ignoring the Tears of the Kingdom conversation we just had, I think when you got out of that Shrine of Resurrection and looked out into the horizon as to like what is available to the game and like what you can do, it did the Ghost of Tsushima like horse ride scene in the beginning before Ghost of Tsushima did it, you know, like, and not to discount Ghost of Tsushima, it's a great game. It straight up just ripped that from Breath of the Wild, and rightfully so. It did it excellently, and I don't want to. That's not the point of this. The point I'm trying to bring up, but Breath of the Wild, dude, like the fact that like you could just go and just spend hours exploring and like figure out ways to play the game, and like the game rewards cleverness and it rewards like skill at, you know, like for an all-around package, I think it's a pretty fair number one at the top 100. Top 3 for sure, in my opinion. I don't know. It may not be my personal favorite, you know, like out of this list, but I think I can see why the majority of people in this that voted on this would say, "Oh yeah, Breath of the Wild that's number one," you know?
Yeah. It's I mean, honestly, there's a level of doubt though, because like I do see Shadow of the Colossus here twice.
Oh,
It's
is
like,
it here twice?
how did you? So it's on number 44 and then 95, the remake. It's like, bro, how are you gonna put that?
Oh, I see.
You
What you're
really?
saying. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
So that's the thing. This game is this is a fully, this is a fully crowd-sourced like list.
Yeah.
So take all this what we said with a grain of salt, but from what we saw, I think it's an interesting list for sure. Yeah, and
like there is something to be said, because you know how they there's the whole thing about like the law of averages. If they went to a like in one of like the state fairs, there's like a cow, and they're like, hey, just take a guess how much this cow weighs, right?
yeah,
Some people take some like pretty heavy guesses, and then you have like 1 pound, 9 million pounds. It's like, okay, you take everybody's answer, and then it ends up being like 5 pounds off. Like if you average it, like if you take everybody's that, so it's like there's something about the law of average where like, I think if you have a large sample size, you can get the right answer. So
interesting. Yeah, that's a good point. So I can see that. Do you think anyone would put a Call of Duty list as their number one? Madden.
Actually, dude, man, you can make the argument about like Black Ops 1. And that story was kind of great.
Oh, interesting.
And bro, and you playing One in the Chamber? Hell yeah, bro.
That's true.
Yeah. But
I see that. Okay. Respectful.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was Giantbombs top 100 games of the 21st century. Very interesting list here.
Yeah. But do you think in the 22nd century we're gonna have even games to play if everything is live service?
Ooh, I don't know, man. I really hope so. Well, if the Stop Killing Games movement gets some traction, then it would be. I think it could do so. But, dude, this was literally a coalition of villains getting together and being like, how can we stop this plan? What can we do from giving charity to all the people in the world? See? So it's being reported by Dexerto that Europe's largest video game lobby spoke out against the Stop Killing Games movement, which is a movement where they're trying to get a petition to have people sign, which is telling Europe to investigate like the idea of games not allowing an offline mode for online games after the service is canceled, because you're essentially giving them money and then they're taking a service away from you, and by EU standards that's something that they usually don't abide by, so that's something they're trying to get investigated. Right? Did I miss anything?
No, I think that makes sense. Where it's essentially like this is not necessarily just to say make an game offline, but like I would say like, oh, if the servers, like for example Anthem, you can't really play it anymore, right? It's because you have to log into a server. It does a couple of checks and stuff, and then like kind of brings you into like this like global instance or whatever, right? Some people are saying, hey, like if you're gonna take the server offline, can you give us the ability for us to host our own server, right? Like,
yeah,
like, sure, like I still want to play the game, but like if it doesn't have to be necessarily offline, but give me the tools to run the game. I'll run the game, right? So like that seems very understandable, but I think some people are thinking of, oh, you want me to turn everything to be an like online or offline only mode where you can play this with if the Wi-Fi is out. I don't know. I mean,
yeah,
I think there's a lot of takes on here, but yeah.
So this coalition, this evil villain coalition of this lobby, basically, which comprised of members from EA, Ubisoft, and Activision, and several other publishers, came together and said, hey, this thing would make game dev too expensive. And it's like, all right, buddy, all right, billionaires, shut up. Nobody wants to talk to you. Yeah, I think it's stupid the fact that these guys are out here saying that kind of thing, because it's like this is exactly the people who we don't want to hear from in regards to this. Like they shouldn't have a choice in they're the ones who are causing this this thing to show up in the first place, you know?
Yeah. It's interesting because it's I don't know, man. It like I like the thing with the with EU is that they're very pro consumer, right?
Yeah.
They're the reason why we have iPhones with USB-C, right? Because and they have a very, compared to the US, much better privacy regulation, right? And how
Yep.
data is supposed to be stored, and the rights to privacy and all that stuff.
Hmm.
So I would be interested to see how they they look at this, right? Because like nowadays, like even buying physical games is seen as a uh, like you're just buying the license to play the game. It's not that you have an extension of ownership or anything, right?
Yeah.
And since like with the PS2 era, before everything kind of went online, like that held true, right? Like you have whatever's on the disc is what you got. And then now, the internet kind of comes in and then changes like the structure of what is possible with games and game ownership and game like preservation, right? Because now everything is a day one patch.
Yeah, and
Um,
it's also like the idea of not preservation and the philosophy behind what is happening with games, owning games on a physical media like disc is it's changing. Like we saw on the last like YouTube short we made, TikTok, whatever. By the way, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever. That like people were you talked about how like you went through a struggle to get a physical game for Death Stranding 2, right?
yeah, man.
And people in the comments were like, dude, just buy digital. And it's like people are I understand that aspect of it. Like it is convenient to buy it digital and just do it. But the idea of ownership where it's like, oh, the disc itself, like having it, I can loan it to a friend, I can, like I can, like whatever, like maybe down the line sell it and get some of my money back. You can't really do that with digital ownership. And
Yeah.
nothing is stopping Sony from being like, you know what, I'm actually gonna pull this copy from you. And they can probably do it with the disc of edition too, but that it's just that idea of ownership and things like that as well. Also, having a disc, I think, in my opinion, kind of feels nice. I'm not gonna lie to you, I like having it.
Yeah. Like there is just something also about like going out to get the disc. Like there's something about like you come back and like there's like for me there's like a level of like ceremony of like, oh, okay, I got the disc. Like
Yes.
I'm not gonna play it. Let me just update it, and then it just sits there. And then when the inspiration hits, you just pick it up and go.
Yeah.
Because like it just feels like it's tangible. It's in your hand, and you're you know you want to bite it.
I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah.
Funny enough, actually, I went to the mall the other day and I was like, let me pop into a GameStop. And my wife is like, why? I was like, I just want to see. I went, I was like, hey, do you guys have Death Stranding 2? They're like, yeah, we got tons. I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. And I left. I didn't buy it, but I just wanted you to know that I didn't have the same struggle that you did. But I also didn't try to get it day one. So
Yeah. I feel like Loki. There's a thing about GameStop, like making day one buys like harder if you don't have a pre-order.
Oh,
Because like games like were so plentiful, so they're like, oh, let's just artificially squeeze it, and then people. I low-key thought about ordering Ghost of Yote, and I was like, how'd they get me like that? Anyways,
fair enough.
Yep.
That's true. But okay,
yeah.
let's say just as an example, let's say that Kojima all of a sudden decides, you know what? I don't want this game to exist anymore. I don't want people to play Death Stranding 2. I'm going to take it offline. Servers are cooked. No one can use it anymore. That's it. And he also he says, hey, you have to destroy all copies of your game to use it. Or
Like,
just because
take the disc and just snap it over your leg.
Yep. Would you do it?
I love Kojima, but no.
No? Okay. What if Ubisoft asked you to do it? Would you do it then? Oh my god, dude. Ubisoft is digging themselves more into a hole every single day, bro. Whoever is their PR person needs to just stop talking and just not even PR. They just need to like evaluate what they're doing to the gaming industry because it's not helping their brand. Ubisoft wants gamers to destroy all copies of a game once it goes offline. So it's in their EULA and it says on section 8 of the EULA, it says this EULA the EULA is effective from the earlier date from the earlier of the date you purchase, download, or use the product until terminated according to its terms. You and Ubisoft or its licensors may terminate this EULA at any time for any reason. Termination will be effective upon notice to you, will be effective upon A, a notice to you, B, termination of Ubisoft account, if any, or C, at the time of Ubisoft's decision to discontinue offering and or supporting the product. This EULA will terminate automatically if you fail to comply with any of the terms and conditions of this EULA. Upon termination for any reason, and this is the line that everyone's kind of like, what the hell? You must immediately uninstall a product and destroy all copies of the product in your possession. Bro, what the hell?
Damn, bro.
The hell is Ubisoft smoking?
Yeah, bro. They want you to just. That's crazy. I think this obviously comes in line with the Crew 2 or Crew whatever issue or Crew. I don't know which version of the Crew they have. That kind of had this issue where the game went offline and people were like, "What the heck? We paid for this." And but yeah, for you to destroy the copies, I don't know, man. Like that's very, very intense. Because yeah, this like end user licensing agreement is like if they just say, "Oh, we're gonna just brick it for you," and you can't, you like on startup it's just not gonna work. Okay, I understand, I guess, a little bit, but like for them to be like, no, dude, literally just like take your hard drive, chuck it in the ocean, take your PlayStation, chuck it in the ocean.
Yeah. Also, like, make me. Like, what the hell? Make me, Ubisoft. Man. What are you gonna do? Like
also, bro, you don't have Riz like that, bro.
Yeah. Like, the hell do you think you are?
Bro, I want to uninstall Assassin's Creed Shadows.
That's good. I like that. Yeah. Maybe they're doing that on purpose. Maybe they're making the game so bad and so ass. They're like, yeah, they'll want to install after this. You know, like, oh,
bro. Yeah. I didn't have blue screens, but damn, I can imagine some games just straight blue screening. We have a friend that was trying to play Watch Dogs 2, on like his like 4090, and like it kept texture popping, kept going crazy. He's like, I literally can't play. Yeah. So it's So I mean, hey man, don't worry, bro. Nobody's installing it to begin with, so we're good. No, but it's a crazy thing, you know. It kind of goes back to the stop killing games thing, right? Where you're like, you have one side is like, yo, I bought something, can I like maintain it? Because like the right to repair, you know, like it even goes back to like physical hardware things, you know. Like for Androids and iPhones, like iPhones are like notoriously difficult to repair, where you have to own a very specific like multi-$100,000 machine just to undo the adhesive between the screen and the aluminum body, just so that you can do all this other stuff, you know. And they're definitely like gatekeeping things, and so software is also facing that same issue. So it's hopefully the EU can kind of save us here.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean,
dude, such a stupid take from Ubisoft, but
yeah,
I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's crazy because like all the games are especially with like this online stuff, right? Like a lot of games are losing heat or losing steam, right? Like they're not having the sustain that most people thought.
Oh yeah, you got an example?
That being said, Splitgate 2 has lost 80% of its Steam player base in less than a month.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, this one I think is interesting. I mean, obviously for like, okay, it's interesting for the context, but I mean, games losing player bases is like, it's not a new story, right? That happened with a lot of other free to play games,
right?
But I think one thing was like the developers, you know, 1047 Games got hit with a round of layoffs, and then on the flip side, the developers were like, we're gonna make shooters or gaming great again, or make FPS great. Make FPS great again.
Yeah.
Make games great. Anyways, whatever.
It's like, okay, buddy.
Yeah, they're like, we're so tired of all these unoriginal games, and then they released a trailer with Imagine Dragons, and then announcing a battle royale mode. So it's like,
And
okay.
$80 skin bundles. Don't forget that.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. The $80 skin bundles, and yeah. So, and that's like on like the at the initial launch. So I think people are kind of like kind of not taking this the best right now. I think at the moment the game is at like 1,000 players, if I'm not mistaken.
It's like 2,100. I just checked. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's like 2,000 players. So it's
That's rough.
I don't
dude.
know, man. It's
They had a good formula from the first one. I wonder why they like deviated or changed. Like, I understand the desire to make a second version of the game, but it must have been one of those things where it's like the game is not good enough to warrant a second one. Therefore, you should just iterate on the first, if that makes sense.
yeah.
But I don't know
Like,
if that's the case. So
I recall something about they were supposed to get like they had like a like a $1 billion evaluation, and I think they were supposed to get bought by I think it was Epic or something. Like there was some story a while back that they were supposed to get some crazy thing, and then they said no, dude, we're gonna shut down the game and then make Splitgate 2. And it's like, dude, I feel like this is like horrendously fumbling the bag. So yeah, it's interesting to see, man.
yeah, I agree with you. Just like it's interesting to see Sony just back at it again, baby. Did you hear about the new Last of Us Part 2 remastered chronological experience, which is out today?
You said that way too quick, bro.
Sorry.
Bro, they need to stop. Please, for the love of God. I am so tired, bro. This needs to be the last of us talking about this stuff. We need to make other games and make other things. Like, bro, Infamous, Sly Cooper, they're sitting there. Can I have a crumb, please? No.
Yeah.
Giving everything to freaking Last of Us, man. I'm tired of seeing this freaking girl and this Joel, and give me someone else, bro. They're doing the wrong thing with the Last of Us.
Oh yeah.
Last of Us factions, please. If you're gonna do something, do this. I'm tired of seeing Last of Us, the TV show, board game.
The game based on the board game, based on the show, based on the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now they have a Broadway adaptation. Stop, bro. Give us something, man.
Dude, I think the biggest thing is that I'm so confused because I thought that this was something that was outright refused by the team. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I thought people suggested
the premise.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like the premise of the story was like you're supposed to get the big gut, like or big moment in the middle of the game. So like, I think the show, because I think they took that creative decision in the show, and if people like are familiar with the show, are going to play the game, maybe they want to see it play out the same way. But
yeah,
I don't know, man. Like it's interesting to see how it would play out if you play it chronologically. But you just dilute the whole point of the story, man. Like I'm more upset thinking about it because like at least the original game like was like stood up with its guns out, right? Like, hey, this is what we're doing. But then to do this kind of dilutes it, man. Like,
yeah, I'm just confused as to like, I thought we had moved on past this point and like they were sticking to their guns, and like you said, I respect them for doing so, then fair enough. But then the question now is like, okay, well then why? And the TV show point was a good point that you brought up, but I do think that something can be said about like, it is a free update and it's something that people have been asking for and they're just throwing out there, or rather had asked for, they're throwing out there. So on those grounds, okay, fair enough. I respect it for them throwing out something that people want and just for free, and that's it, right? The other hand though, it's like, guys, all right, like it's done. Leave the game alone.
yeah.
Just focus on intergalactic, whatever you're working on, or like just please, we don't need this.
Like,
you know, like
it's so tough. Like I really wish Sony, Please, anybody, benefit, spirit bomb, hands of energy, give me energy. Please, we need someone just work. Like, look, we don't need a AAA $200 million budget game. Make a AA game. Just remake freaking Sly Cooper, right? Something easy, something colorful. Y'all trying to get back into platformers. Y'all had Astrobot. Don't milk Astrobot. Just dig into the library that you have. You have Sly Cooper. Which
Bro,
is like
Infamous. You got Infamous, bro. Like
Infamous. Yes. Oh my freaking remake the first Infamous.
just make something, bro. You got right on the table number whatever the fuck, number 9, 7 on the list. Bloodborne, bro. Like it's right there.
Dude, these guys cannot have a good idea if it hit them in the face, bro. Literally, Bloodborne remake is the easiest money grab in the world, right? Infamous, you can just regenerate, like reinvigorate the franchise because the first one was so unique, man. I'm playing Static Shock, but I'm a white guy. That's basically it. And I'm good. Ed's good and evil. Like, come on, man.
Just yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, like I just feel like they just need to dig into the PlayStation classics, bro. Like it's not a PlayStation game, but SSX Tricky, that was a great, era defining game for the PlayStation.
I would also argue like maybe not even a remake of a classic. Like why not just do something new? Like the joke that we hear, like I agree with you, classic would be good, but the joke that we hear so often is that like why would you buy a PS5? There's no games on it, right?
Yeah.
And obviously the joke, but the games that they really sat down and built, fantastic. Like arguably, even if we don't like it, Last of Us 2 is still a great game to play for like a lot of people. Ragnarok, God of War Ragnarok, freaking Ghost of Tsushima, like Spider-Man 1 and 2 is there. Like I would say like when they sit down and they put their heads onto something new, like it hits super hard. Astrobot.
Like and it doesn't have to be like a crazy expensive game. Like you could just honestly, you can just get some like newer guys, give them like for example like Sandfall Interactive and Clear Obscure, right? Granted they're independent studio, but like you just had people come together and just make a game that they felt passionate about, and it landed so deep and so heavy. It's not all these market research games that are so streamlined.
Well, like I think,
but if they want a safe bet, they have a catalog for doing things. They could just dig into what's been good in the past and just pull that out.
That's true.
I'm just saying, bro. The world needs a little bit more. Okay, I just like Sly Cooper, but they need more Sly Cooper, bro. They need some more Infamous. Maybe I just like Sucker Punch games. That's the thing. But
that's fair. Yeah, I await to see the next Last of Us update project, whatever they decide to do. But
the next Last of Us please, if they're gonna do this, just make it factions, man. I just want.
Well,
freaking Bungie, bro.
What
freaking
about Bungie?
Stealing? They can't even make an original game and with the original art style, and yet you're out here yapping and took Last of Us factions from it, man. I can't believe this, bro.
Yeah.
Just me with my chalkboard another day talking about this Phantom game.
Man is going crazy. Well, just like what's it called? Just like Bungie took away Last of Us factions, this publisher Krafton has taken away $250 million from the studio heads of Unknown Worlds, bro, for the Subnautica 2 stuff. Oh my god, you put this on the docket, right?
Yeah. So I honestly I was I heard about this and I was like, this is crazy, and it felt like a he said she said moment, right? She said but she
Oh, seashells. Oh, dude, bro, that's relevant.
Yeah,
oh my god.
On point. Yeah. So basically, the publisher Krafton, right? So Subnautica 2, right? Follow up to Subnautica 1. A lot of people liked it. It's a game about ocean exploration and discovering mysteries of, I don't know if you're on a new planet or something, but you're discovering the mysteries of the deep ocean, right?
And building a base and all that stuff as well. Yeah. So the people really like the first one. The second one, a lot of people were hyped up for, and out of the blue, the game gets delayed by the publisher, right? And then publisher Krafton. Then the Krafton fires the studio heads of Unknown World that were working on it, right? And the underlying thing that was like
kind of came up around this was like, hey, they had a bonus like performance target that if they were to release the game in 2025, the studio would receive $25 million in a bonus payout, right? So everybody is claiming, like the initial story is, oh my god, look at these greedy publishers, they're just cutting out money from the studio, what the hell is going on? And so there's all this like things like storming around, right? Like discussions online, people going left and right, studio founders saying, oh, the Crafton is saying that, like, you know, we were lazy and we didn't produce things and we were going to keep the bonuses to ourselves. But some people kind of came out and kind of knocked that thing down. So there's been a lot of back and forth going on to the point where the former studio heads of Unknown Worlds is going to sue Crafton, right? And a lot of people are wondering, like, why did this come up? Is it because is it a money thing? Is there more underneath the hood that, like, is that actually truly incompetence from the studio heads? Yeah, no, folks don't really know. It's unclear at that point, but crazy thing to see in 2025. You know?
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel about this?
I think it's a little sad to see, like, well, okay, so the question I guess I wanted to ask you is, like, were they not meeting their goals? Is that what's happening? Like, I don't honestly know. I see there's like a link on this from this like subreddit, but like, what I mean.
Yeah, on the Subnautica 2 subreddit, there is a leak. All right, granted, big leak. It talks about like the milestones.
Alleged leak,
and
sorry.
the alleged leak, right? It's alleged. Like someone could have just made this on their own in PowerPoint, right? But it was talking about like the milestones from the game and like what is like the minimal viable product that folks are expecting. And it's they're talking about like what currently exists and what are they planning for. The things that currently exist, you're talking about like maybe like only like one narrative chapter and like only one region that can be explored within, and then like just like a handful of creatures, right? Like where they're expected to be like 20 to 25, this ends up being like around like 10ish creatures. And the expectation was like the early access was supposed to be in 2023, it got delayed to 2025, and then now just kicked down the road to 2026. So the hypothesis is maybe the studio heads are kind of like just like left the game out to dry and just like banking on the initial name of Subnautica to go into early access and then just meet that metric and then claim 250 million. That's like the speculation here, right?
Okay.
But then I don't know, it's obviously a bunch of he said, she said. I don't know, right? It's things that kind of develop over time.
Yeah.
But this is like, but like initially it plays out that, oh, they're gonna move a goalpost. They're like, legally, if you meet your bonus, or if you meet your metric in 2025, we'll give you the money. Like, what if you don't release in 2025? Ooh, surprise! That's how I read it, right? But
yeah.
I don't know.
I can see that. So I saw an alternative take on this story where it was like, I don't know if it's an alternative take, but it was a take where it's like, oh, like, in order to avoid paying out the bonus, they're just gonna fire them, and then they'll release it in 2026. Therefore, they don't have to pay it out. But
yeah,
I feel like that whole idea is like a little, I don't know. It is a he said, she said kind of thing, but this seems like something where, man, I don't know. Actually, I honestly don't know, because it's like such a weird situation. It's like, why would you fire the people who made, like, it's just such a strange situation. I honestly don't know what to think about it realistically. Like, I have no idea.
Yeah, it's I don't know, we'll have to see how it plays out, honestly. It's Must have been something under the hood for sure.
Yeah, I think in the coming weeks the story will develop more.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but if it is, so it's two scenarios. If it is one, they were not on target and they were just actually behind, and Kraft was like, "What the hell are you doing? Fire these guys." Fair enough, right? Like I understand the idea of like, hey, you're not fulfilling your contractual obligations, therefore you're removed. And this $250 million payout, like it is a thing on top that should have been factored in. But if they're not doing what they're doing, then yeah, right.
Yeah. But then also at the
Um,
same time, it's an early access game. Isn't it the point of early access for it to not be fully complete? Which is you can go tit for tat, I guess, on here, right? But
yeah,
it's just like what were they expecting if the game goes early access? I don't know, right? I mean,
that's a good point.
uh,
Yeah, I don't know. It's such a weird one.
yeah,
I do hope that like everyone who deserves to be paid for what they're doing gets their payout, and I hope the game does come out for the fans of the original, because I've heard it's such like it's got like a huge cult following at this point.
yeah. It's
So
apparently #2 most wishlisted game on Steam.
really, what's number one?
I don't know, bro. Let me,
Let's see.
man, #1.
I'm curious now. Oh, what's this?
Top wish lists. Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Oh man, that's funny. That's so good, dude.
Bro.
Okay.
Bro, just put the JPEG of the clown, putting the clown makeup on, right?
Yeah,
Bam.
that's not happening. Oh my god, dude, that's crazy. What else is on this list? Actually, we got Silk Song, Subnautica, Deadlock. What the fuck? Deadlock? Ugh. Why?
Yeah.
Borderlands 4.
Okay,
Interesting.
low key, dude. If you didn't get the invite for Deadlock, you would be foaming for it. So maybe we are.
That's
Maybe we're
true.
just privy to it, bro. You
That's
know.
true. We should re-download and play it. Just kidding.
Bro, I still have it downloaded, bro.
Oh no, dude, I can't. It's too dangerous. Too close to league.
Guys, guys, please like and subscribe so we can get monetized to buy the brother a bigger hard drive space. Please, this guy
I don't need it. I don't need it.
installs, uninstalls, everything, bro.
I like keeping my hard drive optimized. I don't like having stuff I don't touch on it. That's it.
The brother uninstalls and reinstalls Windows every night. That's how much he cleans his desktop, bro.
Yeah. Just to have I just soak my PC in like Lysol every night and just have to buy a new one every month.
I can't believe this, bro. No,
but any closing remarks before we close out the show today?
follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Beard
Yes.
Bytes Podcast, please. We should have said that at the top of the hour.
That's
But
fair. But
I mean, I did the intro, so I forgot it, so I'm saying it now. We post some clips, and we just appreciate if y'all want to hop in and just say something.
Yeah. But be nice. Don't say mean things or I'll cry.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, that's same for me as well. Just follow us on socials. I'm trying to think if there's anything specific, but no. Go watch Superman if you have not watched Superman. It's very fun. It's very good. And if you have a problem with Superman being a good person and saving people and calling it super woke, you are the problem, not the movie. So just want that out there. Yeah. Cool. Other than that, you guys all have a good day.
Peace.